and welcome to today's Friday High Day. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to hop on, and in the meantime, I just want to say thank you for anyone who watches this video when I upload it to YouTube. I appreciate it very much. You can find Thoughty at brebo.com/Thoughty and support it at patreon.com/Thoughty. If you come into the chat, please say hello, because that way I know people are here, because I'm using the new interface on OBS where Twitch and OBS are integrated, so I actually can't see if people are coming in or not. It would be very cool if people would say hello. So, for those who are new, Friday High Day is about recognizing people in the games industry for successes or good behavior, and things that basically like praise people for putting in their effort and like being the best they can. And we have a couple today. One that was from the previous episode that I'm gonna mention again because I wanna, since it was the first episode, make sure they get mentioned a couple of times. And then we have a couple from Kevin Veale that were sent in, and I had to leave one off because it didn't have a permission check mark on it, and I wanted to briefly explain the purpose of the permission. The purpose of the permission is to make sure that somebody's name doesn't go up and be announced without their permission. This prevents dead naming, makes sure correct pronouns are used, and also ensures that people aren't kind of spamming and putting people's names up for maybe unjust reasons. Considering how volatile the indie industry has been, I want to recognize as many people as I can, but I also have to make sure that I'm not inviting any kind of uproar if I say somebody's name without like getting their permission first. So that's the purpose of the checkbox. That's why it's there. Just make sure that you check it whenever you submit something. And you can submit at tinyurl.com/FridayHighDay060719, which is through the end of July. So I'm going to go ahead and move into the recognition this week. And I hope I'm coming through to everyone, because I don't have my Twitch window up to double check. So let's see how it goes. So first up, we have from last week recognition from Sophie Lacasse for V. Hendro and Haley Gordon for their third successful Kickstarter of the Good Society and Expanded Acquaintance, which ended on June 9th. Congratulations to the Story Brewers. That's their collective name that they use. That's awesome to hear, and I'm really excited for you to continue having more, successful projects. Thank you so much, Sophie, for submitting. If I'm acting a little weird today, it's because I'm not wearing headphones for the first time doing this. And it's kind of weird. I'm used to having something like blocking me in, but I don't. The next one we had was for the Janero Co-Op, which I've talked about on Thoughty before, whenever I interviewed them about their Short Games Digest and about their co-op in general. And they recently reached #1 on the DTRPG charts and successfully funded their game collection, the Roleplayer's Guide to Heists, which is currently on Kickstarter. And it's really awesome that they're paying people right and having stretch goals designed to extend that further. So quality of life stretch goals as opposed to quantity. This was sent in by Kevin Veale, and I know I've talked about how much I wish I had instead done quality of life stretch goals for my Kickstarters instead of, for the second one anyway, for Turn, because I think it would have been better for me overall. We did try to do one for Behind the Masc, but it didn't go through. But I'm really excited for San Janero. They're doing a lot of really cool things, and they're making a big splash right now. So congratulations, and thank you to Kevin for submitting that. I'm also going to try and talk slower because I realize that I'm just going. So I also had one sent in, which I feel a little bit weird about, but I do appreciate. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through it real quick because I want to, acknowledge the recognition that I was given. This was submitted by Kevin Veale for me, for Beau Sheldon, for contributions to the RPG community. These are Kevin's words, not mine. Including, but not limited to, the 5 or so questions series on Thoughty that's introduced Kevin and others to a whole host of fascinating games. Script change, still one of the best and most clearly communicated gaming or safety tools and discussion frameworks available. Resources in games like Behind the Masc and Let Me Take a Selfie, making representing key marginalized identities easier in the community. And support and promotion for the wider indie community of game designers. Thank you to Kevin for sending that in. That was pretty awesome to see. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Paul. I appreciate it in chat. I felt a little bit weird about putting it up, but I wanted to, honor the submission and everything. And I mean, all of these things are things I'm very proud of. I've been doing 5 or so questions since like 2013. And I have now like over 250 interviews on Thoughty. And Script Change Toolbox is being used by Modifius and the Fate Horror Toolkit and a whole bunch of stuff. So I would love to see more people check out Behind the Masc and Let Me Take a Selfie because they both mean a lot to me. And I hope that I can keep doing more to recognize people in the industry. The best thing is that you can always reach out to me on one of my contact pages on my website. I check them every day whenever I'm not traveling. And I try to make sure to get back to everyone and set up interviews as much as I can and as quickly as I can. So thank you, Kevin. And I did my screens out of order. With the San Janero coming before me, and I accidentally put it up wrong. I'm new to using the OBS screen, so please excuse this out of order thing. But there is the San Janero page. I'm hoping to have more exciting pages with different pictures next time. I just have been struggling a little bit to figure out what kind of art to put up on the screen, because I don't want you to just have to sit and watch me the whole time. And then I have a This Week on Thoughty page, because one of the things I wanted to do with the Friday Hideout was summarize some of the stuff I already interviewed people about in case people had missed it. So first I want to do a huge thank you and recognition to everyone who contributed their thoughts and input and experiences to me for the We Say Fuck You, Pay Me. The article was really hard to write. I've been working on it for like an entire year. I started working on it starting with just editor pay right whenever I graduated last year. And I have been reading pay rate commentary and analysis and talking to people and asking questions ever since then. And this is what came out of it to start. There's probably going to be some follow-up articles based on artist pay and pay for layout. Which I just don't have the capacity to do, like I haven't worked in, and that I wanted to have John and Thomas, my 2 partners, who I also do business with, I wanted to have them basically take their expertise and apply it to like a reasonable kind of prediction for what we should be paying for that. Because Thomas has worked in OSR a bit, and he's worked as well as indie. And John has worked in India a bit and also has education. He has a master's degree in media arts and technology. So there's lots of experience and background that I think they can bring to the table that I cannot. So that's coming soon. But thank you again to everyone who supported me in writing the Fuck You Pay Me article, because it was a really terrifying thing to do. And I was really afraid of what the backlash might be for basically saying no, like demand higher pay and also pay higher pay. But I have a hilarious graph of the hits on my blog that is literally making a middle finger at me from the day that I posted and going down. So thank you to everyone for all of that time and effort. The other articles I had up this week were the 5 or so questions on Sleepaway, which just came out today, which is by Jay Dragon, using the Belonging Outside Belonging system that was started by Ben Rosenthal and Avery Alder. And I love seeing new games using newer systems. Like, even if it's not necessarily my jam, I always want to see more people making new, fun stuff. And I think that Sleepaway sounds really cool. The kind of sleepaway camp vibe, and then the like monstrous threat that they have to deal with is really cool. And I talked to Jay quite a bit about their intentions with the game. So I hope y'all will check it out. It's on Kickstarter right now. I also have another game that could really use some support. Is Children of the Beast, which has gorgeous art, absolutely amazing art. And it's like a Monster Hunters game where you kind of take on the monstrous qualities of the monsters that you kill and devour. The art is so amazingly beautiful. It's like grotesque, but also like stunning, and just such a beautiful host of illustrations that they shared with me. And it's, I think that it's really interesting because it integrates the use of a mobile app to kind of play these Monster Hunter characters, and like you can target your wound that you want to make on the bad guys, the monsters. And it's very, very cool. And I talked to Nicholas Kitts, who is running it, about all of this, and I thought it was so interesting and very different from anything I've encountered. And I would love if we could try and give it a good look, and if you like it, back it, because it's not having the most success thus far, even though I think it's a pretty interesting and fun looking game. So definitely check it out. That's Children of the Beast, and that's on Kickstarter. I also wanted to mention again Critical Core, which is something I did an interview about. It's a system designed to support autistic gamers specifically. I really loved the design of it and the art and presentation of it, and the experience of the people working on it. It sounded really great. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping it's as successful as it sounds. The Kickstarter did really well, and they have now you can pre-order. So I wanted to just make sure to mention that so that people can follow up on it and check it out if they wanted to, because I know there's a lot of autistic gamers in our community. And I'd love to hear thoughts on it. I would also like to do a special shout out to Plugmata for my awesome shirt. It is super great and very comfortable, and has a great design. And it is basically a site dedicated to archival preservation and collection and interpretation of documents related to gameplay. And I was given a shirt by them just as a warehouse emptying out, basically. And I really have heard of them so many times, but never actually interacted with the site or anything. And it is quite cool. And that's at plugmata.org. It'll be in the YouTube comments. And I really I would love to see more interaction with game history in an archival and studying way, like a lot of the academics do, but using it to improve our future design. So I just really wanted to kind of take the time to mention them and thank them for the shirt. And thank you to Tim Hutchins for sending that to me. And I just would love you to check it out and see the cool stuff that they have there. And maybe share it around. So that's all the recognition I have today. And all of the follow-up on blog posts I have today. If there's anyone in the comments who had anything, who wanted to have me mention something, please do. I'm just going to quickly check my Twitter mentions to make sure that I didn't miss anyone saying something important. I don't think anyone's messaged me, which is new. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. I'm probably going to just let this go like a minute longer, so if anyone in chat wanted to say something, they can. But then I may shut down because I wanted to keep it short this week. And I'm going to do one last rundown of all of the kind of recognition that we have this week. So first we have B. Hendro and Haley Gordon for Storybrewers role-playing third successful Kickstarter, Good Society, and Expanded Acquaintance. Me for a whole bunch of stuff, and I really appreciate the recognition. It means a lot. Definitely check out Script Change and Behind the Mask and Let Me Take a Selfie. All are available on my itch at freebo.itch.io. And please read 5 or 6 questions. There's tons and tons of games to check out. Even the archive is really fun to look at. And congrats to the Janero Co-Op for getting their short game digest to #1 on the DTRPG charts, which is amazing, and for successfully funding the Roleplayer's Guides to Heists. And that's on Kickstarter right now, and they are paying people fairly and, you know, having stretch goals designed to extend that further for quality of living. And that's amazing. So we should definitely recognize that. So thank you to Kevin Veale and Sophie for sending these in. And thank you to everyone who, you know, has stopped by and who watches the video on YouTube. I really appreciate it because I really want to spread the word about awesome things that people are doing and how great people are for just trying to be their best in games. Because Lord knows we need it. So thank you all very much. Check me out at freebo.com/Thoughty. I'm on Twitter as @ThoughtyGames. And you can support all of this and more at patreon.com/Thoughty. So thank you all for stopping by, and have a great Friday and a great weekend.